The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make... Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That bumps us up to a 3-possession game here, and only in the second quarter, Charles. They're trying to put this game out of reach before we even hit the locker rooms for intermission.
What's even tougher is making up 3 possessions against a defense that can make impact plays like this. They don't have this game wrapped up quite yet, but 2 picks already, 1 to the house. I think it's fair to say they're headed in the right direction.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. The slot man in motion right. Stafford here, coming off his pick 6. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams. When a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in for the touchdown. Well, it's only Week 1, CD, but right now this offense, they look in mid-season form.
And what we're seeing is the benefits of all their dedication in the offseason. OTAs, mini camps, preseason, you name it, they did it. All that work and preparation, we're seeing them play really well right now. They're making it all pay off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. But for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Play action. Stafford. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Stafford. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
On 4th down, Stafford. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Again, it's Stafford. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Open man has got one. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener, as it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they say to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Stafford to Mixon on the check down. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Stafford looks to throw again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. William Jackson with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Back to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this throw will be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Broncosans are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. A killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marginal yardage against them.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense. And they've done it.
He's got him in. Complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown. Christian Kirk, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bulldogs are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
And Hall not going to bring this one out. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Off the option, here's Etienne. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Brissett sets to throw it. Flushed out right. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him. It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go on fourth. Stafford. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And as a result, possession switches hands. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless, take care of the ball on the way out.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 2nd down, ETN once more. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
We'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Brissett. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. 4th down, Brissett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. Now, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division, you knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Londoners, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And